So the webinar is about introduction to SAFe, and my name is Priyal. I live in Bangalore, India. I'm an Agile transformation coach and consultant. Uh, I have about 23 years of experience in the IT services and products industry. My expertise is on the Agile transformation side. I'm a SPC, SAFe, and Kanban trainer. I have trained close to 800 folks professionally certified in SAFe, KMP1, and KMP2. Uh, I'm a developer by heart. So before being a trainer and a transformation consultant, I was a developer. I was coding in technologies like Java, J2E, Mongo, and software-defined data center and cloud, as well as data migration. Okay, so that's about me. And good evening and good morning to everyone from the all over the globe who are joining here today. Okay, so without further ado, let us get into the agenda. So the outcomes of today's webinar are, the intent is basically to give all of you guys the understanding of what is Scaled Agile Framework for Enterprise, and understand what is this scaling agile is all about, and why do organizations struggle to scale agile, and how does SAFe help you by providing that framework to the organizations, right? And while we are understanding how SAFe helps us to scale agile, we will also explore the various configurations of SAFe and which configuration may be best suited for your organization. Okay, so let us move into what is SAFe. So this is the definition slide of SAFe. This is a SAFe Scaled Agile Framework which is in front of you. So it's a pretty busy picture which contains a lot of icons, but I'll not get into the details of the icon now. But by the end of it, I will try to cover most of the icons on the screen which are put here. Okay, so let us just read out the definition of Scaled Agile Framework. So SAFe 5 for Lean Enterprise is a knowledge base of proven integrated principles, practices, and competencies for achieving business agility by implementing Lean, Agile, and DevOps at scale. So this definition is directly taken from the scaledagileFramework.com website, and that is a Scaled Agile picture. So what does it mean? So it has to do something all about the business agility. Okay, so it has to do something all about the business agility, and it is all about implementing Lean, Agile, and DevOps at scale. But all of this is what? It is a bunch of principles plus practices and competencies. So you can see principles plus practices plus competencies is SAFe. Okay, so that is what is SAFe. So it is a bunch of ingredients which will provide organizations a way to achieve business agility. Now, what is all this business agility, and what does all this mean? So let me set a scene here. Okay, and we will go from the fundamentals, right? Because I know there are many of the newbies here. So what is the need for agile? So we will begin from that. So I'll not get too much into details of agile, but what is agile? So agile at a high level is all about a mindset of delivering right value at the right time, right? So it's a philosophy, or it's a mindset of delivering right value at the right time, which is described by the 4 agile manifesto values here. Okay, and there are 12 principles of agile manifesto manifested through various practices. Okay, so these practices can help you to do agile, but may not be able to be agile, but this mindset will definitely help you to be agile. So you can read more at the links which are given here, and as this webinar is recorded, you can see these links offline also to understand what is agile. So fundamentally, it is all about delivering right value, and that right value should be delivered at the right time. Now, why do companies choose to be agile? And basically, if you see, change is constant, and companies need to be able to respond to the customers faster than their competitors. So basically, speed to market, reduce wasteful activities, retain and attract talent, be competitive in the market, do or die. Okay, survival, right? So that is the reason the organization needs to implement agile. Now, how does the organization implement agile? Okay, fundamentally, organizations use Scrum as a framework to implement agile, and that is what is common in the industry. Okay, so Scrum is practiced to implement Agile. And what is Scrum? Scrum is small teams, 5 to 11 member teams, cross-functional team, which has various skills to define, build, test, and deliver an increment. So Scrum teams work on small iterations or short iterations. They do incremental development. They show a demo. They collaborate with the product owner or the customer. They get the feedback. Okay. And there are three roles in Scrum. One is the Scrum Master, one is the product owner, and the team. The Scrum Master is like, who's the person who instills the agile mindset. He's a guide, he's a coach, he's a teacher, mentor, servant leader of the team. He's a person who resolves the impediments of the team and moves the team forward to achieve their goal. Whereas the product owner manages the backlog, or is like a face of the customer to the team, right? So he manages the backlog, he prioritizes the backlog, and the team is nothing but who does all the work and demonstrates the value. So that is the Scrum team. And the moment people implement Scrum, so they feel they are all agile team. And that is what we have seen in the organizations these days, that okay, people feel that okay, they are agile because they have implemented Scrum. Okay, so definitely Scrum teams are optimized for communication and value delivery, and they can build small applications because they are about 5 to 11 members, which includes two non-productive roles, which is like the Scrum Master and the product owner. So the focus is about, again, delivering right value at the right time. If you ask this team what they are delivering, they are basically possibly delivering a couple of user stories. So if I have to put what does agile mean to this small team, it is about delivering right user stories at the right time. It is nothing but agile mindset for this Scrum team, right? And what kind of applications which we can build using Scrum team? Okay, because the size of the team is small and the guidance which is provided for small teams, maybe we can build small applications, we can build small products. Okay, maybe small enhancements around the product. But what if our needs are large? Okay, what if our needs are large needs, like okay, we are a larger enterprise like a bank, which contains various channels to market. So there are various software like channel partners. There are various products like loan originating system, okay, where we are providing mortgage loans, car loans, home loans, whatnot, right? And there are core banking systems which take care of about loan disbursals and loan sanctions, creating loan accounts, EMIs, the payback, and rest of everything, right? So there is core banking system. So what if we have to build such type of applications? How many people we may require? Possibly we may require many Scrum teams. Okay, we may require many Scrum teams, maybe about 5 teams, maybe about 12 teams. How many people we may require? Maybe about 50 people, maybe about 125 people. Okay, so when our needs are large, can we scale agile the way Scrum says, right? We need a different type of guidance, right? So here we are now talking about, we need multiple such teams to build large scale enterprise products, okay, which who are working together to deliver larger software systems, okay, and solutions. So I'm just introducing you a new keyword in SAFe called now agile release train, or the ART. So it is called as agile release train. The team concept in SAFe is called as agile release train. Okay, so remember that. So team of teams is nothing but agile release train. So we require a agile release train to deliver larger enterprise software, who can define, build, validate, and release. Okay, so that is what we require. Now we know that a small Scrum team can deliver right value at the right time because they know how they have to function, right? They know at the end of the iteration they need to give demo, they need to uh, show the team demo, they need to get the feedback. Yeah, they are able to be agile. They can plan again and for the next iteration, maybe for 2 weeks or 3 weeks or whatever their iteration cycle could be, right? So they are able to deliver right value at the right time. But when the team of teams come together, can we deliver right value at the right time? That's the question which I'm putting in front of you. And how can we be agile at scale, right? When we have such large teams where there are 100 plus people coming together, how can we be agile? What could be the challenges which we can have to be agile, right? So fundamentally, the fundamental challenges are nothing but we need to have a right backlog. Okay, so we need to have a backlog. How do we manage the backlog for all the teams? Who manages the backlog? Okay, who will prepare the roadmap? Who will set the vision? Right? How do we manage the dependencies? Okay, how do we do integration testing? How do we do performance testing? How do we manage the releases together for different teams? Can we even collaborate? Can we talk to each other and still be agile? Right? How do we evolve the architecture for such larger systems? There is no one way, right? So there are multiple teams and we all need to sync together because we are producing one solution. Okay, how do we get the direction for our intentional architecture? How do we evolve our emergent architecture? How do we plan together? So if we are small teams, we may do iteration planning, but if we are large team, how do we plan together? So we need some kind of a guidance here. How do we be transparent? How do we align with the business? So we need some kind of a guidance to overcome these challenges of scaling. Now I'm only talking about few preliminary development challenges to scaling. There could be many more challenges, but I'm just giving you a kind of a story, to understand what is the need of SAFe. Now, because of those challenges, what we are doing is, here in this picture, I'm introducing you a part of the SAFe framework. Okay, and let us only focus on the squared areas, right? Okay, the box number 1, which is nothing but this, the box number 2, and the box number 3. So the box number 1 is here, which is in the green, is nothing but the Scrum team, which is a Scrum Master, the product owner, and the Agile and the team members, right? So these guys operate at a team level. So the team is the fundamental building block of the SAFe framework, and there are multiple teams which will come together to deliver the value, and that is called as the train. So which is represented in this by number 3. And to manage this train to deliver the value here, okay, we need one level of hierarchies or couple of roles here, and these roles are zoomed in here to show you that we require a product management to manage the backlog, which is here. Okay, at a train level, we require a system architect or engineering team to manage the architecture for the overall train, or to provide the guidance for the architecture for the overall train. And we require a chief scrum master, who is also called as RTE. RT is nothing but the release train engineer, sometimes called as a chief scrum master of the train. Okay, so we require a chief scrum master of the train to resolve the impediments of the train, right? So what SAFe says is, SAFe adds one level of hierarchy on top of the building block, which is nothing but the scrum. So, and if you look at, there's one-to-one correspondence here with this hierarchy also. There is a product owner, there is a the product manager, there's a scrum master, there's a release train engineer, there's a team, there's an architect, right? The technical guys, the servant leader guys, and the product owner and the product management guys who manage the backlogs for everyone. Now when I say hierarchy, it doesn't mean that it is a reporting hierarchy. It just means that it is a hierarchy to scale agile and to manage the nuances at a program level versus the nuances at a team level. So the focus of these guys is at the team level, and the focus of these rules is at the art level, which is nothing but the team of teams. Okay, and the team here works in small iterations, which is iteration number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they work on iterations here, the way as the Scrum framework works in the overall art, right? Now let us zoom in into this picture a little bit and explore further more elements of it, right? So we already saw this number 1, which is the building block of SAFe, which is our Scrum teams, okay, or the agile teams. Rather than Scrum teams, I'll call them as agile teams. And this is the second one, which is at a roles at the program level or the art level, which is the RT, product management and system architect. So these are the roles. Now I'm introducing one more role, which is the business owner, who's the important stakeholder, who has control on the budgets and who understands the business context and the need of the hour of the overall strategy of the organization. And he is here to monitor and manage any quick decisions which we can take at the art level in terms of maybe it is funding or any other bigger decisions which we need to take, right? So that is why he is here. Product management uses concepts of customer centricity and design thinking, okay, to come up with the program backlog. Now, what does the program backlog contain? The program backlog contains features. The program backlog contains features, and the product management is an external facing role or the market facing role who understands the market, maybe does the competitive studies, understands the business context, and their responsibility is to come up with the features and the prioritized features, right? And these program backlog is the input to the agile release train, and the agile release train, which is nothing but the team of team concept, delivers the value, which is nothing but here. The product management also guides the art by providing the vision and the roadmap. Okay, so that's what the product management does. And here at the bottom level, we have the Scrum teams working on Scrum or Kanban. So it's not hard and fast that they should only use Scrum. They can use Kanban, okay, whatever they want to use. So we can have at a team level, the Scrum framework or the Kanban framework. And the Scrum framework exactly operates the way the Scrum guide prescribes, which is plan, execute, review, retro, etc. Right? Okay. The product owner who is at the team level is an integral part of the team, and this guy is an internal facing role or the team facing role, right? And he collaborates with the product management and comes up with the team backlog. He also works with the team to identify the stories or refine the stories the way it is explained in the Scrum, okay, and they put in the team backlog, right? So that is what happens here. Now art uses PI planning to synchronize what solution they need to build. So here if you see, there are two icons here, which is nothing but PI planning icon, and this boundary which you see, and I'm not sure able to see here, there's nothing but the PI number 1. So like how you have iteration number 1, iteration number 2, 3, 4 and 5, okay, the art operates upon a cadence called PI. So the art comes together. So the team of team comes together in a cadence called PI, and they plan together with a common backlog called program backlog. And as I said, program backlog contains features. The product owner works with the product management team to identify which are the features which are applicable for their teams, and they can break down the features into the user stories. So there's nothing but PI number 1, and then the art continues to do the PI number 2. The PI number 2 contains again iteration 1, 2, 3, 4 and iteration number 5. I'm not going to cover this iteration in this particular webinar, out of scope, which is IP iteration, okay, but you can refer to the Scaled Agile website and read more about it. It's all about innovation and planning, right? The overall art uses DevOps and for delivering the value quickly by doing some automation, doing continuous integration, continuous deployment, and all of that such, and release on demand, as well as they implement security. That is why there is a security DevSecOps continuously. They implement built-in quality. They build quality with flow, architecture, good design, code quality, system quality, and release quality. So these are the various elements of the SAFe framework at a foundational level, right? So this is one kind of a framework here. Now this framework is called as, this configuration of framework is called as essential SAFe. Okay. So at this level, what we have achieved is, so the team was able to deliver anyway the right user stories at the right time, okay. Now as a art, because of this guidance, we are able to deliver right features at the right time, right? So now that is what is a agile release train, right? If you further little bit zoom in, art is a structure which contains about 5 to 12 teams. Now why are we saying we require 5 to 12 teams? Do you think we cannot do it with 3 teams or 4 teams? Yeah, maybe we can do it, but there are a lot of overheads about all of this hierarchical stuff, and you may you may end up hiring more resources, so it may not work out for you, right? So at least if you have about 5 teams to 12 teams is a good uh, good value for money proposition to implement SAFe, and about 50 to 125 individuals, right? Okay, so in a train there could be about 50 to 125 individuals, and beyond that we will have to have another train. I'll talk about that little later by the end of this webinar. Now, the art uses PI planning every 4 to 6 iterations. Usually we see about 5 iterations. So like how we have iteration planning, the art uses PI planning for doing a PI planning, where all the team of teams along with the business owner, the product management, RTE, all the art leadership, all the important stakeholders, the business and engineering team together come together in a face-to-face event, or right now there is a distributed agenda also for the PI planning. They come together and plan in terms of what they need to deliver in the next 4 to 5 iterations, right? So what they need to deliver, and iterations are nothing but the time box on which our scrum teams are operating. So here, what in this particular picture you can see, there is a scrum team number 1, 2, 3, 4, and the multiple scrum teams are coming together to plan the PI. Okay, and couple of scrum teams are using Kanban, couple of scrum teams are using Scrum framework, couple of scrum teams are using again a Kanban framework. So SAFe doesn't say that you need to use Scrum or Kanban, or it doesn't mandate. You can use whatever which works in your context, right? And the teams continuously explore, continuously integrate, continuously deploy the value. Okay, at the end of this they demo together, and this demo is nothing but the system demo. So at every iteration they do a system demo after the every iteration, and like the scrum gives the guidance, at the end of every iteration the teams do the team demo. So there is a team demo at the end of every iteration. After every iteration there could be a system demo. System demo is a demo if you have completed any features. Okay, you can provide system demo. So at a high level, what is a feature? Feature is nothing but a bunch of user stories. If you have completed all the user stories, then you complete a feature, and then you can show a system demo and you can collect the feedback, right? And they learn together. So these are the events, SAFe art events. So here there is an inner circle which shows you the Scrum events. These are nothing but the Scrum events, which is nothing but iteration planning, daily stand-up, iteration review, backlog refinement, iteration retrospective, which is provided in this particular circle. And these are nothing but the art events. Okay, so in the art event, again we have a similar type of event, iteration planning, we have PI planning. Okay, daily stand-up, we have Scrum of Scrum meeting, we have PO sync meeting, or you can combine them together to form a art sync meeting. Okay, you have a iteration review where we do a user story demo, the team does. Here the team does a feature demo, which is an integrated demo from a staging like an environment. We do backlog refinement. Here we prepare for PI planning before just before our current PI, we start our preparation, the product management and the product owners, and they work together with the teams to do the overall planning in the PI during the PI planning. And finally, we have a iteration retrospective, which is nothing but here, which is at an art level, which is called as a inspect and adapt, right? So these are the art level events. And when we use these art level events, then we will be able to deliver the right features at the right time for our product. Okay, now the question is, at a team level we were able to deliver right stories at the right time. At a art level we are able to deliver right features at the right time. Now question is, can we call ourselves as agile? Okay, so can we call ourselves as agile? So now we are able to deliver right features for our product. Okay, but the question, can we call ourselves as agile? If I extend further, okay, are we investing in right products? Okay, so we know that we are building right features for the existing product, but as an organization, are we investing in right products? That's the question which we are asking. And if your framework does not answer that, maybe you are building wrong products or you are doing wrong investments. And can your organization even survive? Now for that, SAFe provides furthermore guidance on top of this framework which is nothing but the large solution safe. Okay, which is which is nothing but the portfolio safe. So this configuration of safe is nothing but a portfolio safe. Okay, so far what we learned here was up to this line where we were able to deliver right features at the right time. Now on top of that, now we have a enterprise. Okay, some of the enterprises could be large, some of the enterprises are small, and large enterprise have multiple portfolios in it, and smaller enterprise may have one portfolio in it. Now what is a portfolio? Portfolio is nothing but a bunch of value streams or bunch of product lines, right? Okay, so an enterprise can have a portfolio which contains multiple value streams. Value stream is nothing but a bunch of solutions. So here you can see there is a value stream. So this is one value stream, this is another value stream. This value stream is delivering a bunch of solutions. This value stream is delivering again a solution. This is possibly delivering a suite of solutions. This value stream is delivering one single solution, right? So each portfolio can contain one or more value stream. And here portfolio vision, so enterprise can have a portfolio vision which is nothing but the future state of the value stream. So how does the enterprise know what is the future state? The enterprise needs to come up with a strategic theme. So enterprise understands what are the needs of the market. Okay, what does our business require externally in a simple sense, and they create a bunch of strategic themes. Okay, now strategic themes align the business with the portfolio. So we have this particular portfolio, it aligns this portfolio with the business, right? So that's what happens, and each safe portfolio operates with a approved budget, and these budgets are allocated to the value streams. Now what happens is the question which we were asking, are we investing on the right products? Now how do we know are we investing in right products or right ideas? So for that, SAFE has created a bigger level, highest level requirement called as epic. Epic are nothing but the bigger level requirements which are epics, and the portfolio management or this particular portfolio layer will fund these budgets and allocate it to the epic if this is a significant and critical initiative to achieve and which aligns to the strategic theme of the overall enterprise. Only if this epic is aligned to the strategic theme and it is in line with the strategic theme, then only the enterprise, the portfolio will fund this value stream, and then we will be able to align to our business outcomes. Okay, and this way of investing right, doing right investments at the right time is called as business agility in simple. Okay, so this is a topmost layer, and this layer is called as portfolio safe. Okay, and this configuration is called as portfolio safe. Now the configuration which I showed you earlier, couple of guys must be already using safe, so maybe a few of the guys might not even have worked on the portfolio layer, because this very senior leaders, they work and manage the portfolio, the investments and funding. So this is what happens at the top layer, and the epics are then again broken down into the features, right? So I can show you the requirements hierarchy in safe. So we have epics which can be broken down into features, and the features can be broken down into user stories. So epics can also be enabler epics, which is nothing but a technical epics. Okay, enabler epics support the architecture or technology strategy, okay, for building the next level of solutions or current level of solutions, right? Okay, in the near term and the long terms. So those are the enablers which we need to build, and they need to fund that. So that is about the hierarchy of requirements in safe. So we have epics can be broken down into features can be broken down into stories. Epic could be business epic could be technical epics, could be enabler epics can be broken down into enabler features and enabler stories. Now the question is, what if our needs are large? So if our needs are large, very, very large, so we already talked about large needs, we require team of teams. Okay, and the team of team concept was agile release train concept. Okay, the art concept. and it contained about 125 people. But what if we require 200 people to build an application? What if we require 300 people? What do we do? Okay, so in such time, okay, we have a configuration from SAFe called large solution train. Okay, so we have a configuration in SAFe called large solution train, and this configuration is nothing but train of trains. So basically, like how we had team of teams, now we have a configuration called train of trains, and they add another one hierarchy, but I will not get into this detail, but it is a similar hierarchy. We have a product management, we have a solution management, we have a release train engineer, we have a chief scrum master of a solution train who's called as a solution train engineer. We have a system architect and engineering, here we have a solution architect and engineering team, right? And every art here will also do a PI planning. Okay, that is what they do together. Okay, they will also do a PI planning. They have their own backlog called as solution backlog. Okay, at a high level, what does a solution backlog contain? The solution backlog contains capabilities. What are capabilities? Now capabilities are just exactly equal to your features. Okay, now let me help you understand with this, right? So first, let us understand what is the user story. User story is a small requirement which is from the user's voice, which can be completed less than a iteration, within a iteration. What is the feature? Feature can be completed less than a PI. Okay. What is the capability? Capability also can be completed less than a PI, but they are very large and maybe multiple arts will come together to deliver one capability. Here, multiple teams can come to deliver one particular feature. Here, multiple arts will come together to deliver one capability. And on top of that, you can have epics, right? So this is your large solution train. So the solution management will manage the solution backlog, which contains capabilities. If you are operating at a large solution train, capabilities can be broken down into, the features, and the features can be broken down into user stories. Now, here I would like to just highlight what could be one of the example of a capability, right? And we were talking about a banking example, right? The example of a feature in a bank could be applying for, mortgage loan could be a feature. Okay, but what is the capability? Capability is nothing but maybe now you again, I'm just taking that apply for loan at a very higher level. You want to create a flow of application of loan end to end with all the value streams, where there are multiple features like application of loan, mortgage loan, and you also buy in a mortgage insurance from another value stream. Okay, so your home loan is attached to a mortgage insurance, so that is another thing. And maybe there could be again some kind of a credit cards which are offered because you purchase some kind of a loan, or maybe some kind of a thing. So you have multiple arts coming to deliver that apply for home. One of the art is nothing but about the mortgage loan, second art is nothing but about the insurance which you can buy from the insurance which is attached to the mortgage loan. And that insurance art deals only with the insurance, the mortgage art deals only with the mortgage loan, right? So that way, here when we are talking about art of art, there is a supplier art here also, which is nothing but, there is external vendor who could be also working in art to deliver and integrate value together, right? So maybe we have outsourced some kind of a work to maybe some kind of a companies. Here there are service companies like Infosys, TCS, Wipro, Capgemini, right? Okay, we may have a supplier art here sitting here, okay, in their own, and like a offshore development center, and there is art number one, art number two, art number three, and everybody does their PI, but they connect with their pre-PI and the post-PI to sync up. They coordinate for a common backlog, and they split their whatever required features, and they end up delivering the overall solution. This is nothing but large solution. Now here in large solution, again the question is, are we investing in the right products? That question is not answered. So at large solution, if you want to include a portfolio, this portfolio remains same the way I showed you earlier, right, for the essential SAFe. And this kind of a configuration is nothing but your full SAFe configuration. So this is your full safe configuration, which is on top of the large solution. The elements are exactly same. They fund the value stream, just that now the requirement hierarchy changes. If you're operating at large solution, the epics are broken down into capabilities, capabilities are broken down into features, features are broken down into stories. And when you implement such type of portfolio safe or a full safe configuration, organizations achieve business agility at scale, and they are able to deliver right value at the right time. And this is how we are able to understand what are the various configurations of safe, and the way and that is how that is why organizations are using scaled agile framework to achieve business agility. So again, revising our definition of safe. Safe for lean enterprises is a knowledge base of proven integrated principles and practices and competences for achieving business agility by implementing lean, agile, and DevOps at scale. Now, in this particular webinar, I have not touched upon these particular things, which are also called as some kind of competences. These are some kind of a knowledge base or competencies which the organization should achieve in order to scale agile. It doesn't mean that just because you added these particular roles here, you'll be able to scale agile. You need to build these competencies in your organization. You need to build people with these competencies and these practices. Then only you'll be able to scale agile. And the most important competency is nothing but lean agile leadership competency. If you don't have lean agile leadership supporting your agile mindset and agile framework and safe, you will not be able to scale agile to achieve business agility at the enterprise level. And lean agile leadership promotes the core values of safe, the lean and the agile mindset, which is the house of lean, the agile manifesto value, and couple of lean principles. And there are folks who are the agile transformation consultants, who are called as safe program consultants, certified by scaled agile, and these guys lead the transformation. And there's an implementation roadmap which the organization use, which provides step-by-step way to implement the scaled agile framework to achieve business agility. So I encourage you guys to go to scaledagileFramework.com and explore these icons. All these icons are clickable, and you can enrich your knowledge on the four configurations of safe, which is essential safe, which is the basic configuration, portfolio safe, large solution safe, and full safe. And these are the configurations where you can achieve business agility. Okay, these are the configurations where you can scale agile methodology for development. Okay, and definitely other configurations you can scale agile methodology, definitely, but with the competences which you build, you will not be able to achieve business agility in number 1 and number 3, but rest of the two you can rest of the number 2 and number 4 you can achieve business agility. And what organizations or enterprise do is they choose the right framework for their enterprise in their context, and they choose that framework and start building on top of it. And this implementation roadmap tells them how to do this particular approach. Usually it is a bottom-up approach of implementing. They implement a single art first, then they implement another art if it is a larger value stream, and then they go ahead and implement the portfolio. They don't start top down, they start bottom up. Okay, so thank you so much for listening to me. And it is very broadly accepted framework. And to tell you some trends about this particular framework, right, 37% of the enterprises, I exactly don't know whether it is 37, either it is 34, 35, or between 34 to 37% of the enterprises in the globe are adopting scaled agile framework. And in terms of the scaling framework, and none other framework even goes in double digit also. So there are no other competitor frameworks which are going even in double digit, as per the survey from, I think, State of Agility report. I think as per the survey in uh, I think in November 2021 or December 2021. Okay, so it's a very good framework where there's a lot of adoption.